not from a woman. That's why it's sucky today. Okay. All right. At least it doesn't scratch rims, Elsie.
It's beter as jy nie te werk nie.
Okay. Could be. Let's try. Let's see if I can see myself in this bad boy. Yeah. Even worse. Hope you guys can see me. All right. Let's call Big Sis on the line quickly and see.
I'm not sure if she's...
I think she is.
Okay.
Yeah, no, she said she'll join us tonight. I think she just went to the bank quickly. But we're about to kick it off, man. 3-4 minutes late. Hopefully we don't get throttled this time. We've had a problem earlier today where I don't know why TikTok didn't want to allow everybody to come in and take part.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Yeah, I want that special word.
Yeah.
Studio. Let's see. No network. Come on, work now.
Mac is die beste.
Mac is the best. Mac is the best.
Okay.
So 2 minutes away, guys. Then I'm going to speak to you and tackle all the questions that we have for Masterclass Monday, Business Masterclass Monday. So if you've had a question that you wanted to ask me, please shoot it into the comment section right now, and we'll make sure that we grab yours first, because normally, let me just put this here, normally the questions come quickly. Normally, when TikTok doesn't throttle us, and we don't have an opportunity to answer all your questions. So if you've got something that's on your mind, we are good to go. Okay, I'm back online. Let's see if I can see everything. See the chat. Looks like it's fine. Good day, good day, good day. Stradom. JGV Stradom, what's happening? All right, good evening. Mitmac fam. Wayne Trollop, what's happening, brother? Okay, we've got 1,000 likes, and none of them are mine. I'll give it a few. Your marketing team really inspires me. So, like Clacks Marketing. Appreciate you, brother. But the key word that you use there is team. So, I'm gonna kick off with some marketing stuff. I think that's a nice entry. So, last year, September, we went hard. Everything in-house. We managed to bring literally everything in-house, from the stuff that you guys see to some of the stuff that you don't see. I think that the finesse and the magic is actually stuff that you don't see. So I wish I could give him credit about the really intricate stuff, but unfortunately some of it is top secret FBI shit. How do they convert going from cost per application from 1,583 Rand, I think it was else, 1,583. So that's how much it used to cost us to acquire an application of Google, Meta, and all the other platforms that we market on, paid marketing. So I'm talking paid. So this is reverse engineering the customer. Who is the ideal buyer for and I'm using that as an example because we're busy trading that in, Range Rover Evoque with 82,000 Ks, and it's a 2019 model. Who is the ideal buyer? So you need to put yourself in the state of mind of the ideal buyer. Is it a 55-year-old farmer? Is it a 23-year-old student? Is it a 19-year-old graduate? And if you think about each and every product that you are customer facing with that way, eventually you start becoming good. What are their interests? How old are they? Where do they stay? What sort of hobbies do they have? Do they like horse riding? Do they like biking? Do they like mountain biking? Whatever. So we got, the moment we went in-house, we had an external company that was working off our premises, but still an external company. So they keep their cards, like I keep my Zen. This is not a paid promotion. They keep their cards right against their chest, and they wouldn't share any secrets with the rest of the team, which means eventually all the value, all the learnings are theirs to keep and obviously take away with them to the next customer. Anyway, things happened. We said, let's go, blank page. We're going to tackle this thing and we're going to figure this shit out. So I'm happy to say, I think 12, 14 months later, 15 months later, our cost of acquisition per application went from 1,585 or 58, whatever the number was.
Ja, my foon is nog daar en is op my
Okay, so it's on
camera.
Elsie's phone, but it went from that all the way down to 153 rand. So we reduced it 10 times over a space of, I'll say, 14 months. Now, if you think about what that means for our business, it costs us 10 times less to acquire an application from the outside. That's incredible. And the only way that we can do that is by making mistakes quickly, falling forward, and then learning from the mistakes and pushing forward. So that's the stuff that you don't see, that no one actually sees, but the stuff the team that runs the marketing department really can take credit for. Now, the stuff that you see is just as complex because we went from averaging on a very good day 25, 28,000 organic views. So this is content where you guys see me in front of the camera. I'm either promoting a car, promoting an event, or promoting something. This is organic, free. No one's put a budget against it. It's just out there. And if it does well, it does well, salute. If it doesn't do well, well, then it's our fault. So under 30,000 organic views per day, all the way in 14 months. We're reporting to you guys 320 to 330 organic views, thousand, but it's more like 500,000 plus per day, every day, across all 9 of our channels combined. So big ups to the marketing team. I appreciate the compliment. They deserve all the flowers that they're getting and all the recognition. They're working. There's a team of people that are working almost 24/7. The posting schedules, the creative, the editing, um, the figuring out of the creative is one thing. I come on the camera and I just speak of life experiences. We have fun. We've got lots of banter between me and Els. It's back and forward. I tease her about scratching rims and the fact that she's a woman and she can't drive. She belongs in the kitchen, and she just teases me. She's got the one joke. I'm shorter than her. So that's her angle, and she plays it quite well.
En jou Afrikaanse woorde partykeer.
My Afrikaanse woorde is perfect.
Blitzer,
So
brandblitzer.
um, so is this also called indirect marketing? So that's it. The difference is the organic marketing is stuff that we just post organically. So it's post and ghost from my side, post and ghost. And then we've got the team of people that answer customers that say they're interested in this, that, or the third car. But as soon as there's a keyboard ninja, then my fan belt comes out, I wrap it tight against my head, and then I punch back, boy. So I'm not scared to do that either. But having said that, the organic stuff, climbing up to 500,000 views per day has literally changed our company. The way that we are perceived out there, the brand that we're building, the fact that now and then I let out an F-bomb. I'm sorry for all those teenagers and kids that are underage. I'm sorry, I'm just very passionate. And sometimes when I start and I get going, it's difficult to hold it back, but that's me. I won't change. You either like it or you don't like it. But the indirect marketing is organic, and the direct marketing is figuring out who is the end user of that specific product that you're marketing, whether it's water, whether it's cryptocurrency, whether it's financial advice. In our case, it is vehicles, and then directly pointing that ad as a sponsored ad, either here on your phone on any of the social platforms, or once you open up Google, we compete on Google against the other dealerships, and we box smart. We don't have the budget that some of these guys are throwing massive budgets. There's a company, the Orange Company, spends R1 million a day, 1 bar a day, 1 million rand per day on Google. That's how much their budget is. So to compete against them and still capture attention with a tiny budget is very, 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 very technical. So all the flowers to them, they deserve it. I would like to learn from your team. So I'm going to just punch straight back, and I'm going to give you some advice, because there's lots of marketing guys and salespeople that say, oh, I want to come learn from the best and it will help me. you need to understand that at that level, at top secret level, let's say we've got 12 people in our marketing team, all 12 see something. Then only 8 see something else. Then only 4 see something else. Then only 2 people see the bullseye. Am I right to say only 2 people?
Sure.
Only 2 people see the actual finesse and magic, the magic dust. So you can come in from a marketing point of view. We're actually recruiting a new person to work at our depot to help out with images for the website. So the skill set that you learn is how to take an image that's already in almost perfect light. I mean, we can't get it more perfect than it already is, and take 32 different images of the vehicle, then still go and process it into an editing tool and enhance each and every image for every single car, sometimes 15, 18 cars a day. So that skill set, all 12 people know how to do that. But the more technical it becomes and the more closer you get to the bullseye where we actually use finesse and magic and it's paid ads, unfortunately, that level of trust takes a good couple of years in order for the team to trust you and open up and share the actual finesse. So, having said that, such a great value add. Radio Cape Praat, I think a Midmax sponsored school bus will be such a great value add. So we've got 4 buses running, brother. We've got 4 buses. A couple of years ago, the first bus that we ever donated was to Minutes High School. And the principal bought a Suzuki, I'll never forget him. Very nice man. Very, very nice man. And we cocked that delivery up so badly. We had 2 identical buckies, which to me looked like identical canopies as well. So I think you don't even know about this. They had identical canopies, but the one was an aluminium canopy and the other one had the normal fiberglass canopy. Now, in terms of price difference, the aluminium canopy is like 60 grand and the normal fiberglass one is probably 20 grand or 25 grand. And the day of delivery, the guy had like the biggest smile until he saw his bucky and his face dropped up. What's wrong? Like, your facial expression just changed completely. He said, "This is my bucky." I'm like, "It's your bucky, dude. It's the bucky you bought." So he says, "No, I didn't buy this one. It's very similar mileage. My bucky had a different canopy." I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yes." So he sends me the screenshot. So I'm like, "Holy shit, your bucky is actually sold to another customer." I'm like, "Okay, cool, no problem." Outside of the canopy is the bucky lacquer. Have a look. He was happy with the vehicle. He says, "My pops, ek soek daai canopy." So I'm like, "No problem." Traded that one in, went over, took my shambok, bah, bah, and then bought him the right canopy. He was so impressed, so happy. He bought another vehicle from us. He bought a vehicle for the school, a bucket that they cut the grass and go and throw it at the dumps and whatever. So he said to me, "On some sport days, would you mind helping us out with the bus?" I said, "Why?" He says, "Well, the teachers have to load the kids in the back of a canopy and on their vehicles, and then they go with like the rugby team to go to office and play them there, and we don't have a bus. So sometimes the kids sit on the back of the bucket." I'm like, "No, man, that's bullshit." We change that. So that was the first quantum, I think 5 years ago. Um, we donated it to the school. We're maintaining the vehicle, and then we did some work with other schools as well. And we've got 4 on the road. Let's have a look. Any questions for someone to want to get into the car? Yes? Okay, you already sent me some. Okay. Thank you for the roses. Appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to tackle the questions. Hopefully there's some good business questions that we can unpack. All right, Uncle Bobby, why is South Africa's second-hand market so expensive in comparison to other countries? And is it justified? Absolutely valid question. And we had, Gerard is his name. At one stage, I had 2 teams at Tier 3 where I manage the floor now. So we, we had a black and yellow team. The reason why they called it the black and yellow team was the one team was led by Eddie, who's black, and the other team was yellow, led by Chris. So it was black and yellow, that song came up. So Eddie's 2RC, second in charge, I like having, at that stage, I liked having a 2IC. Eventually, we went away with that concept, but his 2IC was Gerard. And he moved to New Zealand and he sent me like images and description of a car that he bought, a Polo, like for next to nothing. The reason why our second-hand car market, the main reason why it's so expensive is we do not allow imports. So that's the main reason. So if you go to Derbs, there's a lot of importers that bring cars over from Japan, lots of cars from Japan. Those cars get sold at the docks in Durban and then they get transported. The main transport is actually a good customer of ours, a carrier company that transports into up Africa, Mozambique, Zambia, Namibia, all the way up to sort of Central Africa. And the vehicles get sold. I mean, you're buying R34 Skylines, the Supras, for like 300,000 rand. It's like a 2 million rand car. The way it's spruced up in South Africa, you can legally register. So that's the main reason. But on the flip side, it's also not, and I don't want you guys to throw flames. It's also it's a defense mechanism not to dilute the market internally. So manufacturers bring the cars in, they pay the import duties, they pay the VAT on the vehicles, they get registered here, homologated. They've got franchise dealers. Those franchise dealers need to maintain the vehicles and trade them back. And so the concept on paper works fine, on paper, that we protect the market, creating more jobs. Because can you imagine if they open it tomorrow? I mean, the vehicles that are on our floor and every other floor literally overnight become unsellable because you're going to be competing at cars at half the prices. Can you confirm mileage? No. Can you confirm accident history? Unless you're very skilled, you can. But the reality is it will like literally destroy the market if they allow imported vehicles to be registered. So I hope I added value and I answered your question. Um, was your best form marketing your business? Mafa Dikobebe. Mafa Dikobebe. That's a great question. And I had a discussion with Musi today. Actually, I haven't sat with you a lot over the last. So Elsie was loafing for like 6 weeks. She's back today only. So she had to catch up Tetris and all the other stuff that she's busy with. But I'm so close to matching the call center with leads on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the month, sorry,
Only with the TikTok and
oh,
WhatsApp.
only with organic content where people actually reach out to my number. So I'm not by no measure have we built a brand, but we are starting to build the brand stronger and stronger, which means on a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm sending about 65 to 70% of the amount of good quality pre-qualified leads to the company as much as the call center. And they're spending, I mean, you guys are still spending mega bucks every month. Monday, obviously, I can't match you guys because over the weekend, a lot of form, I'm not loafing. Elsie says over the weekend I'm loafing. So it's not that I'm loafing, but over the weekend, the paid ads do extremely well because people are obviously having more time. You wake up on Sunday, go to church, do things, do the shopping, play with the kids, kick the dog, fix the microwave, whatever it is that you guys do on the weekend. And then you've got lots more time to scroll.
In your case, call someone to fix the microwave.
Yeah, so I can't fix stuff. My dad said to Vanessa, my wife, don't ever hand Bobby a screwdriver because he might poke his eye out. So that's the instruction from my topi. So I don't fix shit, but I know to phone if something's broken. But on a Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday, and some Saturdays as well, I literally from organic content that is not paid for, that has a almost half a million consistent reach, I'm matching for free the amount of leads that I create from this phone with my 2,500 WhatsApps a day. I must say it's been quieter today. It's like probably 1,500, but I'm matching the amount of leads. So what's the best form of marketing for us? It's the organic building of a character and building of a brand. Because I'm a character. I go Saturday to Mercedes-Benz Advanced Driving, and everybody expects me to pull up there in a nice fast BM and go there with them. So everybody is like, pushing me, you're driving a woman's car, this, that, the third thing, um, all this other stuff. And eventually, the banter stops, and we're like, listen, man, we sell all cars. The reason why I create this rivalry between Mercedes-Benz and BMWs, it's fun. And you've got this camp here, and then you've got this camp, and I choose a camp. And the more I badmouth Mercs, the more Mercs we sell. We literally sell 3-4 times as many Mercs as we do BMWs, because people are also not stupid. They understand I don't know if it's a gift or if it's a skill that I've developed over the years. I can offend you, but you're still not offended. You're like, Uncle B, you like kick me in the balls, man. Why are you saying these things? Like, we still love you, but stop mocking us. So that fine line, that technique has been developed over a long period of time. And we've got a panel of people that we run our raunchy content against. If I'm doing a strong Indian video, I've got a sensible uncle who's like my brother, one of my best friends in the world. I'll send it to him and he'll say, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I want to really post this. He says, listen, you offend, 10 people in my community, but 90 are going to laugh at it because they know you're supposed to. And sometimes you'll say, no, don't do that. The moment I started making gay jokes, we've got lots of gay um, colleagues. Muslim company. It's not a gay company. We've got lots of gay colleagues. Then we'll create a piece of content and I'll send it to girls that like girls and boys that like boys and whatever. And I'll say, out of 10, how messed up is this? Then they're like, you have to post this. No one ever jokes about our community. You brave. The people will find the humor in it. It's not offensive. It's not climbing in people's character and all this messed up stuff. Like, you have to do this. Let's go. And then that community is like, hey, Uncle B, that was really funny. Reposted on like a bunch of groups. But unless I run it through a filtering system first, I'll probably end up being cancelled. So, having said that, organic. 50% is creative, the stuff that you see. The other 50% is the math. It's the stuff that you don't see, where the team sits and uses AI technology that we've invested in hundreds of thousands of rands to figure out how do we make this content run? What are the best times? What are the best tags? What are the best hashtags? Run A/B tests, run different versions of a description, and then just shoot it out there. Ian Fisser, you asked me what fragrance does Uncle Bobby wear? I wear uh, it's like an antiperspirant for black and white club. That's the one I wear every morning after gym. It's the same one I've used for like lots of years. It doesn't leave stains. Okay, another cool question. Let's go. What is your approach to social media to get the brand visible? So, Jean Pinot, it's a very great technical question. And you have to understand the reason why most businesses are sucky at social media is because it's not the algorithm, it's not social media, it's because they suck. The reason why some of our videos underperform is because we suck at that stage. And it happens until as recently as this morning, 7:30. We posted something on TikTok that killed it on all the other platforms, and TikTok just wouldn't run. um, Posted a message on the group, guys, do you see a problem? They went and they did another edit and another edit and a different thumbnail. They used a little bit of trickery. It did okay, but it didn't do as good as it should. And the conclusion at the end of the conversation is, I need to improve. We need to improve. It's our fault. It's not TikTok's fault. If it did well on other pro, okay, just with me. Okay, no problem. You could just text Elena and say, sweet, we live, everything is going good, if you don't mind. So you need to take social media and marketing in 3 different sections. It's individual sections. They have nothing to do with each other. On the top, you have brand. You create a video that goes out there that promotes your brand. That video should not sell a single car, but should get hundreds of thousands of views. But it should not sell a single car. So the intent is, once we post this, 157,000 people will see us, and no one should buy a car from this video. Because if they do, we fail. I know it's very hard for you to understand what I actually mean is, but you get it just the more you go down the funnel, the more the expectation should be that this video should sell this car. So on top brand, our best performing videos got probably 120 million views across our channels. It's a year and a bit old. Literally hasn't sold one. Like the moment it sells, on a freak out because that's not the intention. That's the intention of that piece of content is for everybody to know who we are and to know who I am. Towards the middle, you've got marketing. This is the type of content you should be creating that engages questions. You either provide information free of charge, and a lot of people are like, I can sell this, and this is insider secret. So the reason why most South Africans know what a podium is because of me. A couple of years ago, this is why we built the studio where we are currently. A couple of years ago, like 4 or 5 customers are not understanding podium. I said to them, sir, there's the podium. This is the best rate. This is the recommended rate from the bank. There's the podium. I said, Bobs, what is a freaking podium? Like, speak to me in English. I'm like, great. This is what a podium is. Create a piece of content, put it out there, lots of questions, and a lot of pushback from the banks where one of the, you guys all know which bank it is, one of the top banks in the country, like top two in terms of vehicle finance. Just under the CEO, that gentleman phones me and he says, are you sure? Because he sends me the video. Are you sure you want to be unpacking this? I said to him, absolutely. He says, Bobs, I'm getting calls from like left, right, and center from Pretoria all the way to Cape Town. Dealers are very unhappy and they are of the opinion that you should stop educating the customers on the podium and on DIC, on kickbacks, dealer incentive commission. That's the insider story, and it's been like that for years. I'm just letting you know what the market thinks of you. So I said, okay, cool. Let's unpack this together. Have I said anything incriminating or anything false or untrue on the video? Have you watched the video? I watched it 10 times. Everything you said is true. Okay, cool. What do you think of the video? If you were not a person of influence like you are, everybody knows who you are. If you found any dealership in the country, any DP, you can find the owner of Porsche, he'll take your call. If you weren't that, and I present you this, and you're busy buying a car for your daughter, would it leave you more powerful or less powerful than before you saw the video? No, absolutely more powerful. So, sir, salute. I'm not stopping. If you want me to stop and you force me to stop, I respect you a lot, but we're gonna have a fight. So, what do you want me to do? Carry on. I'm just letting you know what the market thinks. So that's middle marketing, and then advertising. The advertising part will be where there's a call to action, an immediate call to action. So behind me, the best fucking money can buy, Ford Ranger. It's not a Hilux because your Hilux is going to get taken undetected across the border to Maputo. The Ranger will still leak a bit of oil on your driveway, but I mean, it's still going to be there. We'll just put the color of the oil in a funny, finessed way. Then if this is your flavor, shoot Uncle B a message and we'll deliver anywhere in beautiful sunny South Africa free of charge. Uncle Bob's out. There's an immediate call to action that forces 2,500 to 3,500 WhatsApps to my phone. That at the bottom is advertising. So that should sell a car, but it's not going to get views. So it's not going to get a couple of 100,000 views. It's going to get maybe 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, depending on how good we were on the day and how good I was on the day. But that should sell that car or a similar car or trigger someone to say, I don't want to drive an oil leak Axuka Isuzu. Like, sweet, thank you for reaching out. Here's the 3 or 5 Isuzus that we currently have in that price range. Which one are you taking delivery of, sir? So that's the social media play. And you can't only do bottom of the funnel advertising and marketing stuff. You can't, because then you get stale. People are bored of your content. You're always asking. A beautiful book, and I recommend it almost on every live, is Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. You have to give, and then ask. At the end of the day, this is a business. I'm asking you to support me. I'm doing this live, educating you guys on social media and marketing stuff. So at the end of this call, I'm going to say, if you want me to dive deep in your business and unpack how we went from 25,000 organic views to 500,000 views, you can pay me for that information, okay? The information and the application, because information is free. You can get it anywhere. But this is how you apply it. First, you do this, then you do this, then you do this. These are the posting times. This is how you use AI. These are the algorithms. This is what we figured out. And then if you jump on these consultation calls with me, every time something changes, there's groups, and I send you from today on, stop posting story this way, start posting it that way. I paid someone $3,000 to teach me how to do story. It was a 45-minute call. 30 minutes he was talking shit. And the last 15 minutes, I said, bro, I know it's a 45-minute call. Give me the juice. Are you ready? I'm ready. You push this button. You do this. This is the song choice. This is the call to action. This is the first story. This is the second. There's the ask. Okay. I wrote it down. Appreciate you. Cheers. The first day I used this strategy, I sold a BMW M3 for $699 that was not advertised anywhere. The car landed off the truck. Boom. I parked it at the back of the depot. I did my thing organically. Facebook story. It got 22,000 views. 22,000 unique views. And on Instagram, it was just under 12 or 11,000 views. So combined on story, that only runs for 24 hours, it got almost 50,000 views. In my DMs, Uncle B, can you send me proof of service history on WhatsApp? Sure, sir. Boom, 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 boom. I checked his profile. The guy's got like 70 cars. He's like posing with drug dealer tint next to his Porsches. He's got a Lambo. He's got a couple of Rolls Royces. So I said, sir, looking at your profile, can you even afford this car? Ha, 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 dot, dot, dot. Send me your banking details. Boom, off story. The car, no one knew about the car except the information that was posted on story. So that's why we do these calls. So at the end of the day, someone says, Uncle B, I need your help to create organic reach, organic leads. How do I do that? We sit in the studio 90 minutes for one session, or you book me twice, you get 3 90-minute sessions at 25K, 50K for 3, and I show you the juice. That $3,000 investment has made me millions, like literally millions. And the moment I don't follow that recipe, my stories don't do well. So if I post gym videos, because I feel fit that day, post the gym video, gym bros are like, yeah, you're not doing your push-ups right. Put your chest down. Then I look like, put the fucking hamburger down, homie. Don't give me attitude about putting my chest down. You swallowed a freaking bike helmet. And then I have a war with some fat dude that wants to correct me on how I'm doing the form wrong. But when I do follow the recipe, I sell cars. It's simple as that. So cool question. I hope I answered it. Hilux RS 4x4. I want to sell double cab, 10K on the clock. Give me a shout. 100%. Blanco bench. 0825426659. I appreciate it if you send me a couple of images with the license disc of the vehicle. We'll price the car. We'll overpay for your car. Even though the new one's coming out, everybody's ha 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 about the Legend 55. We still pay very strong for your car. Thank you, sir. Any auction, it's Chadley. What's up, Chadley? Auction tomorrow night. We've got 2 kick-ass cheap parlors. The one starting at 40. Yes.
It's going out tomorrow morning.
So you couldn't make the video.
No, because it was hailing.
It was what?
Hailing.
So does the hail mean you can't work on your computer?
I couldn't get the video.
So that's how Elsie makes excuses. The content's shot on her phone, but because it's hailing, she couldn't edit it from her phone. Thank you, Els. And I said to the people, tomorrow night, and now you're going to probably edit tomorrow night out. Tonight. Oh, black so. Okay, so 2 kick-ass polos tomorrow night. Apparently it's going out tomorrow, so it's today when you see the video. The one is starting at 40 grand. Very cheap, very nice. Why Golf One price is so high and the seller's ego so high? Ha, Ren, that's a damn good question, man. The nicest Golf One in South Africa, promise you this now, belongs to Eddie. He's got an M4 with sunroof. He's got like the sickest M4, like flippin' beautiful. That Yas blue color, he never drives it. I'm asking him, have you sold your car? No, it's standing at the garage. Yeah, you can see it's at the garage. I'm driving my MK1. He's been offered stupid money and he's arrogant about it because if you find a really nice one, like a properly nice one, it's not the person's only car. It's just his toy, and that's why they, whether they sell it or not sell it, it's okay. Eddie actually wanted to swap me the Golf one for the M3 that we auctioned off last week. He said, "I'll give you the Golf if you give me the M3." I'm like, "No, I'm not giving you the M3 for a Golf." He says, "Yeah, it's fine. Suit yourself. No problem. It's okay." Then I keep my Golf. So I hope that answers your question, brother. Hanko B, what is your take on all the new Chinese brands coming into the country and how will it affect the second-hand dealer space? Rain, the Rain Tech Digital. Okay, great question. So we were approached by a company that strongly insisted that we put their brand on our floor. We've built a brand new showroom just down the road here. It's a beautiful showroom, closed off, uh, you know, dark black windows. It looks like a Saturn dealership. And the reason why I decided against it is there are so many, like literally one every other week that's coming into the country. Now, is it good for the second-hand car market? I don't mind it. It's like I've always been in the mindset of this and that when it comes to material things and business. So whether we have an influx of avals that come in really, really cheap, eventually 12, 18, 24 months, they'll be back into the market, into circulation, and we'll trade them at the price that they are valued at. Now, where I have a problem with Chinese vehicles is the if you look at a Cherry Tiggo 4 Pro or an Elite, 2 years ago that vehicle was 399. It had a shitty CVT gearbox. If you don't mind the CVT gearbox, it's a fine car. It's no problem. I don't mind it at all. I always give my mom one because she can jump over pavements and she's got cameras and she feels safe because she sits a bit higher. The time she wants to feel like she's king of the world when she's driving. The challenge is the new DCT gearbox, the better gearbox, same spec, is coming in at 299 and 329 in less than 2 years. So now, the moment I need to trade in that vehicle with a CVT gearbox, the customer owes what a new one sells for. That's much better spec and it's a nicer car. That's the challenge that I have because they just push and lots of people that work for Cherry directly for Cherry, like top management, most of them left because the amount of pressure on the dealer network to push units is unbearable to the point where it's discounting cars, it's bringing in new models that have better features at 50, 60, 80,000 rand cheaper than we were 6 or 12 months ago, so that we can push those numbers so that when NAMSA reports at the end of the month, we have Cherry's top 5 or top 6. So is the car a bad car? The answer is no. The problem that I have is they keep on bringing new, better, more features, more packed, better screens, better cameras for cheaper. And when it's time to trade those vehicles in, that's where the challenge comes. Hope I answered your question. Do you have internship available at your dealer? I'm a marketing student of high-end marketing school in South Africa. So our internship is closed for the year. I can't take anybody now extra. Between now and probably March, we're not going to take any cadets. The 6 boys and girls that we got on the lot, man, we hit the jackpot. Like
Another.
another level boys and girls that we got. They are motivated, they are dedicated, they are hungry. You know, when someone's eyes are open, when you speak to them and you're teaching them something, their eyes are open and they're writing down stuff. So I literally would do everybody a disservice if we bring new cadets in now. And the reason why these last hires are so good is because we got better. So the initial cadetship programs that we ran were fine and we changed people's lives. But we've developed an app, we've got a learning university, which is our own content. Either me or one of the other managers sitting behind the studio like this, well lit. This is an objection that you'll hear a lot. I need to speak to my wife. Okay. This is what it actually means. So I'm going to process in real time what it actually means when you have a face-to-face with a husband. 90% of the time, as men, we have egos. And it's very difficult for a man, unless he really has 100% control of his ego, to say, bro, I can't afford 7.5. I can only afford 6.5. But because we're speaking money and you're not at home court advantage, I'm not having tea and coffee at your home. Sorry?
Fancy.
You are freaking laughing. But because we have the home court advantage, it's all these fancy cars, people are on the phones doing million rand deals, doing 600 grand deals. You say, let me discuss it with my wife and I'll come back to you. So the ego is where the problem lies. And if you attack the problem without finesse and say, bro, you're the man of the house. Like so many times I'm like, don't you wish you can tell the customer, buy a belt, put the belt on, wear the pants, make the fucking decision, you run the household, let's go. You can't say that because you're climbing in the person's character. You'll be lucky if he doesn't punch you in the head. But if he's a gentleman, you'll just say, screw you, man. You're very rude and I'll never do business with you because you climbed in his ego. So what you actually need to understand is that part. So now we unpack the wife's in it. Great, sir. How long have you been married? Then you'll say what he says. 5 years. So, sir, who needs the gold medal? You or her? I need the gold medal. Say, my name, cock. So, great, sir. Having been married for 5 years, you've processed lots of conversations about finance. Am I right or wrong? Yes, you're right, Bob's 100%. I know how my wife thinks. So, great, sir. Do you think your wife will say no to the car? Because you're going to present this info to her anyway, to know, or to the installment. What do you think, having known her for a period of time and having had these financial conversations with her, what would she object to? Now she would object to the payment per month. Great, sir. At what payment do you think she'll be comfortable where you are the rock star of the house and you king of the castle? Bobs, if it's anything under 7, I don't have a problem. Okay, great. So I used high levels of finesse to handle the objection. Sir, allow me 15 minutes. Here's a cappuccino. You put drugs in it. That's why you keep coming back. It's the best coffee in town. Take a seat. Up to the F&I office. We need to restructure this deal to start with a 6. Okay, so if the installment starts with a 6, you're the best in the country. You've won F&I of the year 3 years back to back. Make this happen. It's at 7.5 now. Okay, Bob's, give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, we've got 2 variations of a structure, whether it's balloon, whether it's an extended term, whether it's a deposit, whether it's a combination of 2 or combination of 3. Sir, your installment starts with a 6 with this structure. Are you in? 100%? Okay, let's do the paperwork. And you take this bad boy home, show it to your wife, and she'll know that you married a true chap because you've got the budget and the car right. By having conversations, this is one of 150 scenarios that we've got on our online program. By developing it to the level where we can actually test you afterwards, we develop better cadets right off the bat because they've almost handled. Look, there's still going to be a situation where it might catch you up. It's something that we haven't trained on. The moment it does, managers report to a management group. We've got a problem with this. This is very unique. A couple of weeks ago, we sold a CDI Mercedes-Benz, and the customer opened the fuel flood, and there's 2 nozzles. It's a diesel. There's 2 nozzles. One is red, one is blue. So the client's like, dude, in which one do I put diesel? So the young man said, I don't know. I don't know. The guy at the petrol station, he knows. So he's like, what the fuck? Why is there 2 here? What's the other one for? So he's like shitting himself. Big eyes, like a rabbit caught in light with a spotlight. He says, sir, I'm going to ask my manager. Ask the manager, and then you explain to the customer, sir, this car uses AdBlue. That's why it's a blue tech. AdBlue is a liquid that you have to pour in here, and it cleans the emissions. So all the exhaust gases actually go through this liquid, and it's a process. So it doesn't smell like an old Isuzu when you're standing behind it, coughing, and your eyes are burning, and it's killing the ozone layer, and it can pass all the requirements so that it can be sold in Europe, North America, where they're very strict. Yeah, we don't care anything. No, if it runs on grass, no problem. But I'm kidding. We're also quite strict. But this is something that we have to retrain everybody on. To me, it's like, dude, it's common knowledge, man. It's AdBlue. That's why it's blue. Like, where do you buy it? to retrain the whole. You can buy it today. You can literally buy AdBlue at most petrol stations. I think Shell has, every Shell has. Problem is when you're in South Africa, you can't get AdBlue. So I had a customer with a G350 G-Wagon. Bought it brand new, took it to Angola, had an issue with the AdBlue, got so freaking upset because he's used to driving Hilux and Land Cruisers. He never had AdBlue. Just by cooking oil, it will come back home. So very upset, came here, threw the keys. Vobs, I bought this car new. It's a piece of shit. I couldn't get AdBlue there in Angola. I don't want this fucking car anymore. Make me an offer and take this car. I don't want this car anymore. It's not for me. I'm buying a Hilux. And then he put an RDP house on the back of the Hilux. I said, Wim, really? Like, you know what it is. Up in Angola, you should be prepared. You need to take a 20-liter tank in case this happens, because the dirtier the diesel is, the more AdBlue it uses. Even a brand new car, not a couple of thousand Ks, it needed AdBlue. So that we had to retrain the team on. So we got better at building up cadets, creating an online platform, university, where I can't be tired on a video. I can't have an off day. I can't have like very little sleep. I'm not walking into a classroom where I had 6 difficult conversations on the way to work and my mood is off. If I record it and I'm good on that take, put it out there. If I'm bad on the take, we retake it, and we created a library of scenarios that actually helped our cadets to become rock stars. And all 6 are sticking around. They are doing phenomenally well. So hopefully March, April, we'll have a chance to get new ones. I'm a young man and have, okay, so M. Moke Nay. I'm a young man and have a 24 Haval Jolian City Plus. I'm trying to get rid of it, but the shortfall is incredibly high. Any advice? Bro, you've got like 3 choices. Either you keep the car, um, that's your first choice. Your second choice, whatever the shortfall is, you must check under the bed, wherever you've stashed some cash or in the bank, pay it to get rid of the car. And the third choice is you're going to have to take that shortfall and load it onto the next car. You don't want to hear that. That's the truth. There's no sugarcoating it. One of 3 choices. You need to make sure if you put the load on the new car, you need to sort of think at least 3 years ahead, at least 4 years ahead. Am I going to have another baby? Am I going to have a baby? Am I going to get married? Are my in-laws going to pull in and then I have to cart everybody around? Am I going to need this to do 4x4 once a year, whatever the case might be? So you need to get it right the next time so that you can stretch it at least 4 years before you sort of balance. 4 to 5 years if you have a big shortfall. So brother, good luck. You make the right choice. Next, Sayur. Do you think we as South Africa are ready for Chinese luxury super and hypercars? I think we are. Considering like this weekend, I go and I drive the Mercedes-Benz GTS plug-in hybrid, 600 kilowatts, 1,400 newton meters of torque around Swartkops. So Westwood that runs the facility, as soon as he saw me, I said, congrats on winning the Samoa Hill Climb with this car. I watched the video, I watched the content. Bro, like, your balls are so big. You should have a fucking wheelbarrow in front of you just for your balls. The way you drive that car is like skew 4-wheel drive, slippery slide all the way up the mountain. Like, you're incredible, dude. Like, well done, hats off. He freaking killed everybody. There's nothing that ran with him. That car, 5.2 million rand. The one I drove around Kalami, around Swartkops, I'm sorry, had R1 million worth of extras. So 6.2 million rand, 0 to 100 in 2.7 seconds. It's an absolute rocket ship, but it's 6.2 million rand. Now, if you look at some of the MGs, he's always on this line. He worked for MG. If you look at, I think it's called a Cyber Beast, if I'm not mistaken. Very similar performance from an electric car at a fraction of the price. Does it have the pizzazz? No. Does it have the style? No. Does it have the nostalgia? Does it carry the AMG brand? No. But in most circumstances, it will kill anything on the road. So eventually, if they're very good and they're persistent, they will build up that following. They just need to create a culture around it. you can create a culture you're in, and then the things all around. But with electrification, there's no telling where it will end. Like the cars are getting faster, more powerful, more horsepower, more kilowatts, four-wheel drive, more electric motors. It's getting insane. I'm very excited. So I think South Africa is ready at the right price point if they market them correctly. That's the other thing that we have an advantage over an OEM, for example, like a Suzuki franchise dealership. Like I can literally say whatever the freaking whatever I want. There's no head office coming here knocking me on the fingers. If your car's shit, I'm just gonna say it's a shit. We made a mistake to buy it, but from today we're no longer buying these cars. Or this is almost as good as that. They're not allowed to say this. So if the Chinese companies actually have the balls to come in and say, like Elon did, that was the most brilliant marketing effort I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys have seen this ad. If you haven't, go and watch it. It's a Cybertruck against a 911. And you can see it's a quarter mile drag race. So the camera is sort of placed where I think it's called the Christmas tree, where all the lights go red, yellow, green, and then you launch. So you can see the green 911 pulling up and the Cybertruck pulling up. And then the lights go and then they pull away. And it's a drone shot where you can see the Cybertruck is slightly ahead of the 911, but it beats it by maybe like quarters of a second. And then the video actually pans out, and the Cybertruck beats a 911 while towing another 911 at the back. I don't know if you guys have seen this ad. It's freaking crazy. That was his marketing stunt. And then everybody went like, what? This is a tank that beat a 911 while towing a 911. That's why Elon is who he is, because he doesn't give a shit. He's going to do what with the letter that Porsche sent him? Throw it in the dustbin. Light his cigar with it. Who cares? Like, he cannot be influenced, and he doesn't mind like bashing another brand or saying 911s are great. They're super fast. But we have a truck that looks like a 3-year-old design, and it beats the 911 while towing a 911. So if they can do that, I believe that there's definitely a space. Hi, Uncle B. I had a small business in stationery and printing consumables. Any advice on reviving it? When it's a B2B business, I'm so jealous, man, because it's actually easier. It's not easy, but it's easier. If you think about it, if you close your eyes, can you name the customers that you should be speaking to? Is it schools? Who are your end customers? Have you written the 20 customers down and go and direct market to those customers? With its quality, with its price, with its delivery, with its waiting time, with its combos, with its specials. You know who your end user is. We don't know. This Land Rover Evoque that Mossy traded in as the live started, I'm still sending him voice notes back and forward. Like, it's a 2018 car. It's got 82 on the clock. It's white in color. It's not the dynamics. It's not the top spec. But who will actually buy this car? Is it a male? Is it a female? The answer is yes, yes. Are they young? Are they old? The answer is still yes, yes. Like, my mom will drive a Range Rover Evoque. She freaking loves these things. And she's 60 plus. You know, if I think about it, my friend out of high school, he went, he studied, he worked his tail off. He does these. If you break your arm or you need prosthetics or any screws or anything in your arm, he's the guy that designs the screws, manufactures them, and then he sells them to hospitals. He's very successful, built a big business. Him and his dad sold it for a couple of 100 million rand. Like, straight out of varsity, he bought that car. So who am I selling that car to? 60-year-old Tani or 24-year-old business mogul that's on the rise that wants a fancy car? Where with you, if you can exactly reverse engineer who your target market is and where you can find them, directly targeted to them. It's not easy. I'm going to take that back, but it's easier because it's a B2B business. It's not a B2C business. So business to business rather than business to customer. That gets more trickier. There's more noise there. With you, less noise. If you just focus and you reverse engineer end user, and you actually need to be honest with this. And this is very important. And businesses, they struggle to get this through. Am I going to compete on price? If the answer is yes, you lose eventually. So anything that comes down to price loses eventually. That George Mini taught me. I mean, he is the absolute dominant force in our industry. He's light years ahead of his competition. I think the next company, which is Cars, he gets 100% more views for his dealers than Cars does. That's how good he is. And he always taught me this, Pops. If you're going to compete against price, it will eventually come to a zero in your close. So if your play is, I'm going to beat everybody based on my price, my stationery, someone else is going to be prepared to do it cheaper. That's just a fact. So it can't be only price. I'm not saying it shouldn't be price. If it's a cutthroat business, I'm about to start consulting for somebody that I met at the gym that does wholesale for diesel. So diesel is not regulated. So the government doesn't say this is how much you need to buy and this is how much you need to sell for. So diesel's got a lot more range. So everybody's cutting each other's throats on price. But he's been around for 15 years. His company's got a fantastic brand and he's just losing customer after customer after customer after customer. Then I asked him a very simple question. The last 5 customers that you lost, don't lie to me. How many times have you actually visited those 5 customers that you lost in the last 12 months? Because they've been on your book for 5 years. Pops, I haven't visited them once. So they took too long to leave. They should have fucking left you months ago. That's why they left you, because somebody came with a better price, okay, matched or slightly beat your service. They're there every second week. They are good at what they do. They can also supply. You fail to build a relationship. So you did a one night stand. You were lucky. No one came and interfered there. You never built a marriage with that consumer. And that's why they left you. Do you know what you need to do? Pops, I've got a lot of traveling to do. If you're going to trade in my car in 3 months, I'm going to do hundreds of thousands of Ks. Thank you. Now he's knocking on doors until his knuckles bleed so that the customers that he already has, he needs to rekindle that relationship because a B2B is relationship. That's all it is. B2C as well, but a B2B, it's purely relationship. So when someone comes in and says, listen, I'm going to give you diesel at 2 cents per liter cheaper. Now, if you're talking 2 cents per liter, what's that? He's pumping a couple of million liters of diesel a month. That's that's a substantial amount. This is just a game changer. 2 cents, goodbye, let's go. But if you can go and say, listen, bro, there's someone hounding me. We've been together for the last 5 years. I've got no problem with your service delivery, but 2 cents is 2 cents. Can we renegotiate the price? Can you afford to? I don't want you to beat the price, but here's the quote. Now, if you have a customer that phones you and presents it that way and doesn't just cancel, send you notice and canceling it, that means you've built a marriage, built a relationship, and they value you. So hopefully that helps you, brother. And firstly, make a list. Here are all the here are all the customers that I need to. I've got a WhatsApp from a plumbing company. So I'll quickly touch on that after we finish the live. But here are the lists of all the people that are actually potentially my customers. These ones I serve. I'm honest with myself. And be honest, man. I've done this, in a meeting like that with your team, all the egos. You say, right, everybody's ego. I actually walk outside and I put my ego outside the door. Hypothetically speaking, my ego is not outside. My skin is thick. I want the raw, ugly, the bad news. Bad news. Why are we failing? Why are we not hitting our target? Why are we not selling cars? What is the perception? Because sometimes when you lead, take it back. When you lead, everyone always tells you what you want to hear. The people around you. Maybe you're not the type of leader that encourages negative feedback, criticism. You need to start immediately. You need to encourage your people to criticize you all the time. Criticize me. What am I doing wrong? After this live stops, the conversation with Elsie is, how can I improve? What did I mess up? How many F-bombs have you counted? And she'll say 4. I'm like, I promised you 3. I'm sorry I went 1 over. After I'm done with Elsie, I'll phone Elena. Say, E, what's up? You elaborating too much again, your storytelling. I'm like, I'm passionate. So stop your shit. The people asking you questions, I'm like, damn it, you never took my questions because you're talking 8 minutes when it's a 30-second answer. And then that's how I eventually improve. So encourage feedback. We go outside, where are we failing? Sometimes we fail on service. There's been air, there have been countless quarters where we're failing on service delivery. We didn't have the depot. We used to run our entire operation from the workshop that is now our coffee shop. We had 4 lifts there pushing 200 cars a month there. It was a mess to the point where we had so many cars outside. Metro cops used to come there and then write tickets to 5 cars because we're standing there the whole damn like this car doesn't start, dude. I can't move it. We're waiting for a part. We're going to push it in tonight. It won't be there tomorrow. So service delivery was where we were failing. Eventually, enough of that noise, that signal, it's not noise. We built the depot, 19,000 square meters. That problem was solved. New problems came. So if the ego's outside and everybody's honest, we're failing here, we're failing on price, we're failing on building a relationship. I can't get through to this customer. Many times, you guys can believe it or not, but even Eddie himself and Eugene has never asked me to close a customer. Never. I sent him a nice spoonie on Friday. We're selling our brand new into the beauty that I thought was X-Drive. That when we test drove the car, everybody was like, "No, this is the real drive." I'm like, Mossy, you lied to me, bro. So Mossy's like, "Shit, I thought it's X-Drive. Sorry, Bobs." Anyway, we're selling this car to a very wealthy guy. He's hyper aggressive. He fights everything, and his personality. It's an Indian gentleman. Eugene is English Afrikaans. He's hyper professional. I've never seen him get angry. Never seen him swear. I've never seen him lose his temper. He's like Mr. Cool. He says, "Pops, I think you need to help me with the score." I found him. "Lani, what kind?" "Hey, Uncle B, how shit is that rate?" I said, "Before you criticize the rate, okay, here's where our problem lies. So you're throwing bricks at my glass house. You also live in a glass house. Here's a problem. Here's a problem. Here's a problem. Here's a problem. Here's a problem." So the rate they initially gave me was that. That's correct. The rate I'm going to give you now, if we change one thing on your app, it will decline because it's a one bank approval, one bank validation. Okay. It was at 12.48. It's at 11.89. Okay. 10.89. Sorry. Just over prime. But Uncle B, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I bought my car at prime. And what changed? I mean, these things change. Okay, great. That's the effect. This is your installment, 72 months as requested. There's your deal. Okay, I'm not gonna change anything because if I do, I'm telling you now it will decline. We had head office authorize this rate. Head office. We waited 4 hours for them to tune. Yes, that's a right. Non-negotiable. If you don't take this deal, I'm walking away. You walking away. Everybody's unhappy. Do you want to take the deal? Just my personality and my ability to create and face conflict is different to his. That's what that customer needed. So sometimes just a change of personality will close that customer. If you're a B2B business, you're sending a rep, you know the old school um, the old school motor industry was they send a young blonde chick here with the boobs hanging out and the makeup and the lips and the bum is out, skinny jeans or a short rookie, and then go into the dealer network and sign customers up for our VAPs. Okay, under strict instructions in our company. If that profile shows up, tell her to foot her. I don't want to speak to her. I don't want to meet her. I want no gifts from your company. Foot her. You're unprofessional and you are trying to do something which is unethical. Go. I'm someone going to blacklist your company on, on, on our management team that if you ever send a proper guy, I'll tell him to foot sack as well because of your approach. So sometimes the rep that you're sending, just the personalities clash and you're not going to close that deal. So a change of personality, someone that's maybe harder or softer based on information that you're going to get from your rep will help you close that customer. And I'm going very hard for very long. Next question. I saw this because we need to meet targets and need to find customers fast, which kind of takes away the brand building part. So that's why social media doesn't work for you because you want it to work. And you want it to work now because you've posted a video now and you want to sell that car now. And that's just honest feedback. Where you should be focusing if and I enjoy your questions. You asked me very good questions. You need to see this young man or young woman, I don't know what you are, but you need to see this as a career that you're going to do for the next 40 years. You're going to retire this. So you need to plant trees today that need to grow and you can harvest in 2 to 5 years. That's how you need to see social media. Whatever you're doing today, if you are very good at it, you're going to only start seeing results in 5 years. We started doing content 5 years ago, and I'm proud to say that we are only starting to pluck the fruit now, because from organic content, Wednesdays, as I said in the beginning of the slide, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I can match almost 65, I'm close to 70% of the leads that we spend hundreds of thousands of rands per month. I can match those leads organically because I planted trees 5 years ago. And figuring out stuff, eventually we became better. We're not good yet, but we became better where I know this video will sell the car. There was a video we did with 3 Suzus about a month ago. I said to Elsie, never ever will we have 3 Suzus at the same time at the depot. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was 2 KBs and it was a MUX. Park the 2 KBs outside, the MUX inside. We're going to create one video. It's going to take one day and all 3 vehicles will be sold when you post it, but post prime time. So prime time for us is a certain time of the day that we post. If you remember what I said to you, if this video goes out prime time, the way that I'm going to present this product, all 3 will sell off one video and there's going to be fights. 10 minutes after the video posted, there's fights. Holding deposits. Mine was first. This uncle is fluking me because your salesperson never told me about the holding deposit fast enough. I did. I WhatsApped it to him. Then they're all phoning me upset. All 3 sold 15 minutes. Bang. But it's because I know what time to post, how to present it, who my end audience is. On that D'Souza video, I'm bashing everybody except D'Souza. So if you're speaking to an Isuzu gentleman, some of you that are on the live are going to be like, yeah, I can't convert you to a Hilux. I can't convert you to a Ford Ranger. I cannot convert you to a GWM, a gay white male. Because opa het 'n Isuzu gehad. I want the Isuzu. Good, better Isuzu. That's all I need to say. Then everyone's like, yeah, black, white, colored, Indian. Hey, if you're a Isuzu fan, I will never convert you. If you're a Ford fan, I'll convert you to a GWM. Vice versa, Toyota, I'll convert you to a Ford. I converted a guy into a wild track 4x4 automatic very easy. I said, go drive the Hilux. Okay. I call it farming equipment. I say to him, go drive the farming equipment. Okay. Same price. It's 800,000 Rand double cab bucket. And go drive this Ranger wild track 4x4 auto. Okay. 10 speed, 2 liter, bi-turbo, lots more power, refined, cameras, Bluetooth, checkered seats. It doesn't leak oil, just goes drives both. Says, Bobs, I like the Ford Ranger more. I miss the Hilux, the quality of the ride. You know, I don't need to have 4 or 5 trackers in the car. Easy to convert. I can't do that with an Isuzu guy. Like the engine sounds like it's breaking bricks inside. It goes. It's a 24 model. He says, yeah, it klinkt lekker. Sharp. I'm like, dude, drive this 2 liter bi-turbo. Drive it. It's refined. You can't even hear it's a diesel. You literally can't. Yeah, I will work. When I start my bucket. I said, take the Isuzu, go drive 2 million cars, be happy. I know I won't see you again. But maybe when one of your kids needs a car, you refer it to because you're going to die with this Isuzu, then bulletproof. You are right, sir. So having the experience and not expecting from 90% of the content, but the one that I'm expecting on, the moment we post that video, I'm on all the platforms, all of them are open. 15 minutes, boom, sold. And I still go and put on the posting group. Told you, said. Everyone's like, yes, well done. High five, all 3 vehicles or so. But that happens once in 2-3 weeks where I'm so sure. The rest of the stuff we post, because I know we planted seeds to harvest later. Next question. How do you feel about the outdoor caravan market? Radio Cape Rod. I had one of my best friends, we're no longer friends anymore, but there was a big acquisition. The guys in that world know it was in Soshanguve, that big acquisition. He was very well. I'm not going to name and shame the company. So I know a little bit about it. It's very special. It's a very tight-knit community. And those guys don't know how to speak to their customers, unfortunately. Me and him are no longer friends. Things happened. I've got fault, whatever. I miss him. Hopefully one day we rekindle our relationship because I love him like a brother still till today. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the outdoor caravan world doesn't know how to market to their customers. And there's a lot of rich people in the country that are prepared to spend 400, 500, 600,000 rand for a caravan. Why it beats me? Because if you take the amount of money that you buy in that caravan for, you can stay in five-star hotels. But that's just me being Bobby. Five-star hotels for the next 5 years, and you're gonna live like a king instead of having to hook this thing up and the tire is flat and the disc is expired and it's got wood rot because you left it unattended there. You only have that. So, but in my opinion, that industry needs help to spruce up the way that they communicate with their customers because no one's doing it really well today. There are guys doing it, but not at the level where they should be. Someone comes up there, they'll absolutely kill that market. And it's a beautiful, beautiful market because you're working with high MSM people. They know what they want. Money is not a problem. You just need to know how to trade their old caravan in for the new one. And why should they buy the new one? Does it have solar? Does it have a TV? Does it have Wi-Fi? Whatever the case might be. But nice industry, man. Maybe you are that person that can elevate it to the next level. Okay. Ashton, how's it, Bobby? See you on Thursday. Ashton, why am I seeing you on Thursday, brother? I probably have it in my diary, but it doesn't come top of mind. But see you on Thursday. I hope you're not a serial killer. If you abduct me, just give my phone to someone that can handle my WhatsApps, please. But you don't sound like an abductor. But if you abduct me, someone must handle my WhatsApps. It's going mad. Okay, unknown C01. You sound like a rifle. What does Uncle Bobby think about the BMW E36 325i? Love the car. If you can, that's just me, or a manual, because those auto boxes were lazy and they used to whoa and like push you forward when they change. But I've sold so many, man. The first car that I stole from the house from my dad was that E46. Sorry, it was E36, 32. He had a 328i automatic. I took the car. They were in Joburg, and then my sister texted me because that was we had a little scheme going. When you guys leave Joburg, you text me, then I can get back to the house and close the car in the garage because they went to a mom's car. And then she texts me, she's like, yeah, we're 20 minutes away. I'm like, that's nice. I'm also 20 minutes away. So Topi came out, he put his hand on the bonnet. He's very street smart. So we had a conversation a couple of hours later, one on one. And I had to explain where I went with this car. A kick-ass car. Very nice. Who can one who can one detail your cars? Okay, so I understand your question. How can one detail your cars? Everything in-house, base polishing team, base valet team, base dent, scratching dent. So we've done it in-house because the business, I'm not saying your business, but the businesses that we used were super inconsistent. And we decided to just cut the middleman out, get the right people, pay the right people, the right salaries, and we're doing a fantastic job there. Sammy, hi Bobs, what's your thoughts on Chinese car manufacturers coming in so hard, affecting German counterparts? So we touched on it briefly, but I'm going to go 2 minutes on it. So, because we've got 13 minutes left, so I'm going to go 3 minutes, Sammy. So, for the longest time, we've had peacetime leaders with the German manufacturers. Peacetime leaders are fantastic. It's the best kind of leadership because there's no war. Optimization is what we need. So you've got accountants, bureaucrats, you've got these guys with the big degrees that are measuring for the next 12-year run, predicting things, analytics, and the last 5 or 10 years have been fantastic. And based on this data, this is how we can grow our market, and this is what we're going to do next. And we're going to keep on raising prices. The customers, the consumers will pay it because they don't have an alternative. The problem that they have at the moment is those peacetime leaders are facing wartime leaders, disruptors. So the leaders in China are saying, how do we eat not VW's lunch? How do we eat everybody's lunch, which I freaking love. I make fun of them and they eat cats and dogs. When there's an earthquake, this is what they do. I make fun of them because it's fun. At the end of the day, the reality is they are disruptors. They are exceptionally good at reading the market. Who buys this segment? What do they want? How do we destroy the German brand? If you look at a Cherry 7 Pro, and you look at a, let's say, an Audi Q5, the price difference is sick, man. Why would you even buy a Q5? I'm not bashing Audi, but if the price difference was maybe 20%, 20%, can they afford to sell that car at 20% higher than the Chinese brands? If there's a wartime leader, they can, yes, because they've stacked billions upon billions upon billions in the banks. So you want a war, no problem. So what the Germans are saying is this: Chinese are coming into the schoolyard and they're punching them straight in the face. And the German people are saying, we don't like fighting. You know, we can rather speak about this. Sticks and stones may hurt your bones, but words can. All this bullshit. What they need to do is you punch me in the face, I'm going to kick you in the balls and then jump on your freaking head. That's what they need to do. But they need a wartime leader to say this. To say, all right, cool. Vivo is a 280. We've had this Jeep for 20 years. We're going to make Vivo 199 and freaking kill everybody. Yeah, but what about the people that have bought Vivo 280? No problem. If you have service history, we'll extend your service plan free of charge on us for the next 3 years, free of charge. We maintain your vehicle, and this one comes out with a maintenance plan. That's one move. That's a wartime leader. You punch me in the face, I'm kicking you in your balls, and when you fall down because you're grasping for air, I'm jumping on your head. Okay, and then I'm throwing my school bag on your head as well, and I'm not fucking letting go until the teacher pulls it off you. Because you want to punch me in the face, I'm gonna kill you. That's the mentality of a wartime leader, which they don't have, in my humble opinion, and that's why the Chinese are eating their lunch. So that was 3 minutes. Sammy, I hope I never like scared you, brother. But I keep telling everybody there's six of us living in my head. That's just the one guy that's a wartime leader. I'm sorry if I offended anybody or brought back any traumatic memories from school days. But in my opinion, that's what needs to happen. Wartime leaders need to rise and take charge of those companies and fight back. And the way that you fight back in the corporate world is giving away your profit. If you don't want to give away your profit soon enough, you won't have a company. That's just the reality of where we are. Um, Net Digital. Kobe saw the new showroom last week. Looks great. Check your inbox. I left a free little gift. Okay, you sent me that nice smelly thing for the house. It's already at my house. It smells very nice. So I don't know who sent it. The smelly thing is freaking awesome. Thank you. If that was you, appreciate you.
You say check your inbox.
I don't know, but someone sent me a nice smelly thing for the house. You know, with the sticks that you put in.
Okay.
I took it home, put it up there.
You're
It's in
not
my
feeling
bathroom.
funny or anything.
No, I'm not
Okay.
feeling funny. No, 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 no. Okay, next. Good day. Is it wise to buy a 21 Picanto X-Line for 180K? Credit score 653, net pay 16, 200. Laurentia Conradi. Laurentia Conradi. So our cadets have a Picanto gang. So when they start coming up in the ranks, they've got a Picanto gang. So it's a Seco and a couple of boys. One of them has a sunroof. Obviously, he leads. His name is Cheese Boy. I don't know what his real name is. I call him Cheese Boy. Because the moment I saw him in our training center, I'm like, you are a cheese boy. The way he carries himself. If there's 100 gazillionaires in a room and one female, who's he's talking to? He's talking to the female, the cheese boy. So he has a sunroof, big sound. Those are young boys and they party a lot and the weekends are traveling far. The X-Line Picanto, buy it, Laurentia Conradi. It's not a high risk car. The price sounds fair, the mileage is fair. You'll never regret your decision. It's a kick-ass car. Any advice for young men who want to be successful like you? Bro, first of all, I'm not successful at all by no measure. I've made the most mistakes in my community, but what I've realized is I like losing a lot. So when something doesn't work out, I'm wired that way. Like I have to figure it out, and I'm very stubborn and persistent, thick-skinned, and eventually, after making thousands of mistakes, you start getting things right. So my advice to you will be, it doesn't take a minute. I've been doing this at the highest level. I've dedicated my life to this industry, to this company for 20 years, non-stop. I worked 7 days a week until I got married 7 years ago, and I stopped working physically, going out to the dealership and working Sundays. But Sundays I'm working. So I've got my church commitments, then I've got other stuff that I do on Sunday, and from 4 in the afternoon until 10 at night I work. So just work like your life depends on it. And whenever there's a difficult time, it happens for you and not to you. And then eventually one day you have a win, celebrate it, don't go mad, but have your win, enjoy the moment, whether it's 5 minutes or 20 minutes or even 2 hours, have your moment, save your money. I keep telling everyone the story. Until 3 years ago, we were making good money. Until 3 years ago, I lived in a 68 square meter flat behind my parents' house with my wife. We lived there in the flat till 3 years ago. 68 square meters. My garage today, I've got a 3-car garage. My garage is bigger than the house that I lived for 11 years. That was after I was a millionaire at 19. I made R1 million at 19, banked R1 million, and we still lived there. It didn't matter. We bought a nice house, beautiful house, my dream house. Eventually, my parents moved in next door because the neighbors sold the house. Still neighbors, having a job. We don't cook much because my Maria helps us cook. But having said that, patience, my brother. You never going to arrive. There's always someone that has more money, that's more aggressive. But as long as you fulfill, you're chasing your goal. Big ups to you. Kick ass and Kumo, you've got a powerful surname, young man. Um, is it a man? Yes, it's a dude. One of my best friends is Mr. Kumo, and yeah, he's a freaking lion amongst lions. So you've got a powerful surname. I love it. M. Moke, mate, I'm a young man and have a 24. Okay, I already covered that. I think we're South Africa. Already covered that. Uncle Big Tag is on another level. Jimmy Boucher, appreciate you, brother. Love tag. This is like the city golf of nice watches. I don't ever take it off. I'm swimming in the jacuzzi, in the steam room, pushing weights, showering. I just can't sleep with it on. It sleeps next to me. But thank you for the compliment. Love it. And the biggest Callum in South Africa gave me this watch that used to be my friend that tried to screw me. And I wear it every day because it reminds me to be a good person and not a DOOS like him. All right. Yeah, Bobby, what's the one thing dealerships don't want us to know? Mister, man, I'm sorry if I butchered your surname. So there's a couple of things dealerships don't want you to know. First and most important is we're giving them best DIC. They don't want you to know that because 10 to 1, the company giving them the best DIC charge you the highest interest rate. So how you counter that is how many banks approve me and send me the podiums so that I can make decisions based on information that you have that I currently don't have. The moment you do that, it's fair game. So if you ever watch my closing videos, I'll say 3 banks approved you, ABSA is at this rate, MXT is at this rate, Marquise is at this rate. Which one do you want? Like I want the lowest one. Okay, sweet. Now here's where it gets tricky. The lowest rate doesn't want to do 84 months. This is your installment. The middle rate wants to do 84 months. Your installment is slightly lower. What do you want me to do? I want this installment with that rate. Not possible, bro. You can have either or. I've tried to box them. They're willing to stretch the term, but they're keeping the rate. They don't want to stretch the term. They give you a better rate. Which one do you want? Okay, let's go slightly higher rate, that term. Sweet. High five, let's go. That's the deal. So dealerships will normally present you with an offer where they have the highest DIC. Okay, 3 minutes. Uncle, your session always hours. Keep going. Henry Baloy, 775. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. We try to add value. Sia Linda, is there a reason why your second-hand cars are expensive? Is it because of service history, condition of a car, or just guarantee future value of a vehicle? Sia Linda, appreciate your question. So we never ever try to be the cheapest in the market. I've always wanted to be the best in the market. Now, I'm not saying that we are. The market says that we are. We have won Dealer of the Year back to back twice. So 24 months continuously being rated by third party, having back-end information on how customers rate us before, during, and after sales. All of that is on South Africa. That's how we win. Right. Finance and Insurance Manager of the Year, 3 years in a row. So 3 years ago, we came first. Last year, we came first. And then this year, we came first and second. So we had two of our competitors actually just freaking dominate mega division against everybody that's big. We killed them 3 years in a row. So that's that part. Now, having said that, I cannot afford to sell a shitty car. So the process that a car goes through with us is very complex, very detailed, very thorough. So you might find that a Polo Vivo somewhere else costs 179 and ours is 189.9. The dealer that you're putting me up against has horrific reviews. They're not even the best dealership in the street. We are the best dealership in the country twice. In order for us to maintain, and I don't want to maintain that. I want to discourage my competitors to compete for first place. That's how I'm set up. Everybody needs to compete for second place. They need to understand that Bobby works with his team 20 hours a day, 365. There's no way we catch him. Let's just fight for silver medal. Now, for us to do that, our vehicles can't be the same price as them. That's just logical. We cannot have the processes, the repairs, the attention to detail at 179 that we have at 189. Top notch. My whole experience with them was next level. Darren Ryan, appreciate you, brother. The last minute of these lives is going to be spent on this. If you want me to dive deep in your business, we consult for, we've done crypto workshops, we've done tons of deals, tons of salespeople, individual guys that reach out and pay the consultation fee out of their own pockets. They pay the consultation fee because they want to know how we became 3 years in a row back to back. If you have a B2B business, we're consulting for one of the biggest water supply companies in the country, one of the biggest. We're in our third session. We've got Okay, so we have one more session with them. If you want us to unpack your business from start to finish, a consultation with me is 90 minutes. It's after hours. It's not broadcast live. It's a private conversation between me and you. Whoever the team is, if it's 3 or 4 people, whatever the number of people is, where we go deep dive in your business and unpack mistakes that I've made of the 20 years journey, either driving salespeople, creating leaders within the company, how to it's very hard to do, but how to create a culture where people don't just jump straight. At least the core value people. You want golden handcuffs on all the people that are valuable to the business. How do you create that golden handcuffs environment? If you book me for one session, it's 25,000 Rand. It's 90 minutes. If you can, the best experience that you have is in studio, next to me, record perfect light, great sound, packaged, so that you go back and the information that comes to your team comes from you. It doesn't come from me. So I train the trainer, whether it's running a cadetship program, whether it's boosting your sales, I train you and you train your people. Because if you bring me to your company, the information source is me, lose respect to you. So I train you, you train your people. That's how I like to do it. So if you can, if you're in Cape Town or somewhere else, I understand we do it over Zoom. You know, there's no gloves. Deep dive in your business. Ego is outside the door. Here's where you're screwing up. This is how you fix it. I've screwed up like this many times. This is how you fix it. One of the companies, they've got 8 branches nationally. Within the first 2 minutes, I stopped the guy. I said, bro, do you have an aggression problem? Are you angry? Does it feel like you physically want to do everything in your business? Because unless it's done by you, it's not done properly and it's screwed up. He says, how do you read my mind? I said, no, no, because I was just like you. Okay, here's a book. I recommend a book to him. He gives me a report. We have our 90-minute session. The next month, I'm on a call again. He says, Uncle B, how are you? I said, bro, you don't look red. You're like a little bit less angry. Are you figuring out how to have proper conversations with the leaders? Because before we start, here's Ozzy is my witness. Last month was our record month. Our record month, absolute record month, just because I taught him how to stop bottling, to bottleneck his entire life. And if you want to book me, shoot me a WhatsApp after this. We're going to go and We're going to go and answer each and every individual question and then book you for a session. Elsie will run the calendar. She knows when we have time off. These are after hours, so it will start at 6 and it will go for 90 minutes. If you come here, it will be recorded as well, but we're going to have a one-on-one like this. If you're somewhere far, we'll package it, send it out to you. And then the key is, I want you to think of it this way. The key is the information does not come from me. The information doesn't come from Uncle Bobby that runs Midpack Motors, #1 dealership in the country. The information comes from you. So you can say, I did a leadership course. This is where our mistakes are. This is how we fix them. This is what we do first. Then we do this, then we do this, then we do this. I'm your secret weapon. If you're interested, 082-542-6659, 082-542-6659. Shoot me a WhatsApp and we'll make a booking for you. Simple as that. 25K for one session, 90 minutes. If you buy 2 sessions at 50K, you'll get a third one for free. Between now and then, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm sorry I never got to all the other questions. I'll improve. See you guys next week, Monday. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Uncle Bobby out.